The breakfast of champions, y'all. The breakfast of champions. I got y'all caught up on all the videos that I had recorded from like way back. Everything's in chronological order. It's just things I recorded Friday. It was taking almost a week for y'all to get to see that. I just didn't like things being that far behind. What we're fixing to do is I'm gonna go get on the rubber tire. I gotta help do some cutting. We got, I guess you'd say, a little bit of a dilemma here. The mill is fixing to put us on quotas, and leading up to that could be kind of a rough go for us because they're done shutting crews off from one mill that we normally haul to, including myself. We don't haul like a whole bunch to it, we haul some. So that could cause an influx of trucks to our current mill today, and that could slow my trucking down, being I only have 2 trucks. Since we're short trucked on the big job, I'm short trucked over here as well, because we don't have the extra truck to come over here and help out. So we've parked the old loader. We've put Mickey just in the set delimbing and loading by himself to try and alleviate some of the fuel cost that would be used by using the old loader. I can use that fuel burn in a better area, I guess would be the way to put that. We're getting on a little bit of a drag here, so instead of one skidder running super hard and burning his normal amount of diesel, I'm going to put Matthew on the second skidder, park Matthew's loader, and let him help skid a little bit, and Mickey will be able to do my 10 loads a day that I need in this just fine. So that's what we're going to do, is run 2 skidders here. I'm gonna help down row a little bit like what I normally do with the rubber tire, and Mickey's gonna do all the processing and truck loading. That'll help a bunch. But anyway, other than that, I'm not sure how bad or how tight things are fixing to get with the quotas. With the coronavirus stuff going around, it's affecting mills that sell their products to China and everywhere else. So they're not, the coronavirus in my opinion is a joke, but it's done affecting the economy enough that it's done dipped into the logging industry. And you wouldn't think that would be the case, but like this one mill in my area, they make cardboard products with like a wax coating on them for like little heat 'em up meals and stuff like that. You know, those meals go inside of those type of cardboard boxes, and they sell and export a lot of their product to China. We're not exporting to China like we were supposed to be, with all the trade war and everything else going on. So they can't sell their products, so they're not taking anything in. So then those trucks started going to my second mill that I normally haul to, and they filled that mill up. And they're not using, they got it's called a digester inside the mill. What it is it's basically like a big boiling pot, and it boils the chips down of the pulp, and that's what starts the paper making process in this mill. I don't know how many digesters they have. One of them is out, or they're having issues with it, so they can't eat up their chips that they're making to use up more roundwood that they're stockpiling. So now their chip pile is full, their stockpile, their roundwood pile is full. There's nowhere to put it in this mill no more. So they're shutting trucks out, they're shutting whole crews off completely from bringing wood to this mill. And then the mill that I haul to 90% of the time, whenever this mill got full, then those trucks went to this mill, what would be my mill that I normally haul to, and they have almost got it full. But I got to give a big kudos to the guys at my mill for trying to manage and stay on top of it and not let our mill get so full to the point like the other mill is, to where you'll send a truck in there and he may sit 4, 5, 6 hours at a time to get one load unloaded, because they don't have anywhere to put the wood. They still was letting trucks come in. And this other mill over here, they're actually gonna, rumor is they're gonna shut down tomorrow evening, which would be Friday evening, and they're not gonna start back taking wood till Monday. So that'll help alleviate, you know, they'll run wood over the weekend, because then nothing's broken there. They're working just fine, and they will get some wood eat up, and then along the way of them using up wood, it'll give me an area to, you know, my trucks will they'll still have plenty of area to unload and stack their wood throughout the day while the trucks are coming in. But they're telling us that next week we're going to start off on quota. They haven't said how tight of a quota, but usually when we're in a situation like this, it starts off pretty hard. But what I was meaning in yesterday's video, how I've never seen it like this, I gotta touch on that and kind of go back a little bit. I've seen the mills get this full and congested and slow in August, September, mid-July at the earliest, you know. I've never seen them like this early in the year, except for one other time, and that was like 2008. And that's when, if anybody lives in the South will remember, we had a huge drought down here. And in that drought time, it was like 2 years. I mean, the world was fixing to just dry up and burst into fire down here. We got like little to no rain 2 years in a row. We were like 20 inches or something like that backwards for the year on rain. Now, it's been wet here and it's been slow here, but it's not been wet like it has been the previous 2 winters. We haven't had any massive floods this year here. We've been very lucky on that. I know the other parts of the world has not been. We haven't had, you know, I haven't seen one of my creeks or rivers in my area come up out of the banks and flood things. Last year we had multiple floods like that. You know, it's been wet, but it's been a different kind of wet. Y'all seen, I haven't really shoveled but just 1 or 2 times. They've kept me in ground good enough this winter that I haven't had to do that. And that's because it's not been as wet as it was last year. It's been wet, it's been slow, but it hasn't been as bad as it was last year or the year before that. Because if y'all go back to when I first started this channel, there was probably 2 months of videos where we were doing 100% nothing but shoveling. And I mean, I got the video where we had the skidders bogged down in that second thinning, where we were trying to see if the ground would work and the skidder just fell outside. So I'm not sure what all's fixing to happen, what all's fixing to come about with the mills and the quotas and how tight that's fixing to make things. I don't think we're, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be like, oh my God, we're going out of business or anything like that. It's just things are going to be tight. It's going to be worse for small loggers. Loggers like us that work with a bigger company, we're more fortunate on those kind of things. And I feel bad for the little guy, but on the same hand, that's why you work extra hard, and we do some of the stuff that the little loggers will look at and they're like, I ain't doing that. We do that kind of stuff because we know in hard times we'll be taken care of. You know, like I said, we scratch their back, they scratch our back when we need it. So I feel like I need to kind of clear that up a little bit. But other than that, we're having a really good week. We're number 34, just got loaded over there. Mickey's doing all the delimbing and loading in this first inning. It's slash delimbs, really nice and easy. Who knows what else we'll have today. Kind of don't have anything planned, but I just wanted to get all the videos caught up and kind of get y'all back on a daily thing of keeping y'all in the daily with me. Videos should be getting some good content. It's not fabricated drama, but there should be some drama sticking around with the videos for a little while. So I am fixing to go get on the old rubber tire over here and go cut some down rows. Matt's gonna be doing some skidding today. Michael's gonna be doing some skidding. Who knows? Y'all hang out. We'll get something in a minute. Oh, now, well, y'all can hear that. But that delaminator sounds mean. That thing is throwing some big old chunks out of it. It's peeling the bark off because the bark is slipping super easy. Kind of get y'all up in there and let y'all see kind of what we got going on here. Wood pile starting to get full. Mickey's about out of wood. Michael should be coming up to access. But anyway, so I was talking this morning about the meal. The meal got bad. They had a crane go down, and it was down to one crane. They usually run two. They're down to one, and then the added influx of trucks from the mill that cut us off yesterday to my mill over here that I normally haul to. It has got our environment screwed up. It was like 77 minutes, I think is what it was, wait time a while ago inside the mill, and then 30 or 40 minutes waiting to get inside the mill. So that's got us slowed way down, and they are cutting us off tomorrow at noon. So that'll be I'm not necessarily complaining because I'm ready to take some time off. But we definitely needed a little bit more loads than what we're going to end up getting. I don't see us getting 50 now. See Mickey's running out of room on this one side where the big pile is. He's starting to make another pile on this other side over there. Alright, we're going to watch Mickey load pup here for a second while we kind of talk about the skidders and why we use such big skidders to haul such small wood. That's very plain, very simple. That's a Oh, catch your cross piece, catch your cross piece. Oh, his cross piece just fell off. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Y'all see how before we get on that, y'all see how the wood doesn't have much bark left on it? The bark is slipping, meaning the tree is expanding, it's growing for this time of year. And you'll see it, a piece of wood laying on the side of the trailer there. That's his cross piece. We have to have a cross piece underneath or in between the two stacks of wood to separate them, or the mill won't buy it. But anyway, the trees are, the bark's slipping and it's making everything extremely slick to handle. So why do we have such big skidders to pull such little wood? It's same thing as putting 30 tons on a log truck. Why do you need such a big log truck to pull 30 tons? You know, 30 tons is 30 tons is going to fall off again. It fell off again. Oh, this is awesome that I'm getting this on camera. Look, you see it? Oh my God. Let's watch him put it on there again. Anyway, he's gonna scoot it all the way over. You can see the Tigercat skidder coming in over there too. Matt's on it. So we have the large skidders for the same reason that you have the bigger trucks to pull 30 tons of wood. Do you absolutely need a W900 to pull 30 tons of wood? No, you can get it done with a smaller truck. But does it make it easier? Kind of like that little video on Facebook. But it helps. Yeah, it does. It helps. So, since it helps, that's what we use. That's what we're gonna, that's what we're gonna use to, big wind gust, to help make, our job easier. Let's see here. You need the big skidder because you need in pulpwood, you need the volume, as it takes so much to make 30 tons here. You have to have the volume coming with the big skidder. I can load a truck with my John Deere Skidder. If he's maxed out, I can load a truck in 4 drags. If I was to have one of these little bitty skidders with the old small grapples that we used to have, that would take 6, 7 drags to make a load. If I can pull more wood in less trips, why not have the bigger skidder? That's about as simple as I can put it. We have the big skidder, so I don't have to make as many trips, and I can run what we used to have 2 skidders to do, 1 skidder can do now. Instead of paying 2 men, I only have to pay 1 man now. A crew of my size, there's I only run one. Y'all see 1 loader running full time. I know we've been running 2 loaders for a little bit now, but we have 2 skidders running right now and 1 cutter running full time. If you really want to knock it down technical, we're only working 1 skidder full time, 1 loader full time, 1 cutter full time. And we're getting in this type of average, even though we're turning the butts around on it, average first thinning, we're getting 10 loads a day in this mess. That's great. And y'all see the wood headed up over here that we got stored up. That extra man kind of moving around just kind of helps things work more fluid throughout the day. It just makes our lives easier with that 1 extra man. Where it used to move the wood that I'm moving now, you would have to have 4 full-time and a 5th part-time hand. So as the machines evolve and get more efficient, that piece of wood just broke. I don't have to have the extra manpower. That's why you see crews like Tim running, 1 skidder, 1 cutter, and the processor, and him loading trucks most days, and they're running 100 loads a week. When we go to this summer Quotas are going to be so tight we probably won't be able to do it, but you know, we're set up right now. I could have moved 70-75 loads a week easy when we go to getting back in our better wood this summer. But anyway, so that's why we run 2 skidders. That's why that's not necessarily why we run 2 skidders. That's why we run the big skidders. And like this little skidder right here, he kind of helps out where need be. It really helps in this first thinning. If you've never worked first thinning, you don't understand this, and I completely, I get it that you don't understand it. But this stuff develops so much debris. You almost have to have a second skidder helping, doing nothing but tote debris away from the set, or else it'll get out of control and you won't ever get it back under control. And then you'll have a whole day of cleaning a set where it'd take you just a couple of hours, you know, if you keep it pretty well managed. If you got that second skidder doing nothing but cleaning the set, it takes you like 30 minutes whenever you get done in the set. But that's why we do that. So we're going to go down here in a second. We're going to talk about why I work one side of our access. I'm going to show y'all where we've been working, how I've worked it, why I only work one side at a time, why don't I work both sides at a time. We're going to watch Michael run around a little bit. So y'all hang tight. Okay, so as I was stating a minute ago, I mean, y'all see we got a good load pile. There's still three. There's an easy 3 loads out. But you see this wood right here at Mickey? This is what we had to build an access out of down there a while ago. You see how clean it is? All this right here, super clean. Go look at all the wood we got headed up. Let's count them. There's 1 way down there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's roughly 2 loads in this access here piled up, headed up. This is what I was talking about the other day. This is why we run, and even just earlier, I run the big skidders so I can do this. So my loader is not waiting on wood. We keep him busy. He takes the breaks that he thinks he needs to take throughout the day. Anyway, this stuff right here was actual down row wood, but y'all see how this pile right there, and then this pile right there, and then that next pile down there, that's all access wood. And it's gonna look just like that pile over here at Mickey's loader. There's no limbs on it. So all he's pretty well gonna have to do is pick it up, cut the tops out, put it in the pile. That's why I love working this slash. On to the thing of our access. Why do I work just my left side going in, and then why do I work my right side coming out? Why don't I work everything together getting into the timberline? Okay, so I mean, y'all see there's the road right there. So it's just a little, they want our accesses out in the woods, and you see how we got this little short narrow patch of timber from here to over there. Watch Michael bringing in another drag. I don't know if he's gonna head that one up or put it in there. It looks like he's gonna put it in, but anyway, no, he's heading it up. Make that 10 drags headed up now. They got Mickey smoked down. If I'm going in on my left side, let's just say for video purposes here, since we're facing the set, this is the side that I was working. And for whatever reason, this patch over here was going to be a big long patch. Say I was going to get a load or even a half a load per row off this side. I mean, I may not even get but a drag off of each row off this side. Just say it's that small. Say I'm only getting a drag off of each row over here, and then this other side over here is going to be my main side. I will work my left side going in, depending on the ground situation and everything else. A typical average everyday thin that I'm going to do, I will work the left side of my access first. One, for the main reason, I am a primary track cutter thinning establishment, and your boom is on your right, so you see well to your left. So I will cut, just say like you got your rows going in here, I will cut these rows working from here on my left side, from left to right, just like you read, and you can see back through what you've already thinned as you're cutting your next down row, and it gives you a better idea of where you need to be on your thinning, how much you might need to be taking or leaving, or whatever. It just works easier for a track cutter to work from left to right. And you'll do this left side going in, and when you get to the end of your access down there, if there's a patch big enough to have been left, you'll work your right side coming back out. That way your track cutter is always cutting wood going in instead of cutting back out or tracking back out, because you don't track a track machine out every day. You wherever you get done working it, you leave it sitting there. And whenever you start working back up the other side, if you need diesel, you punch one of those rows out to the road and you get your diesel that afternoon or whatever. But you work your right side coming back towards the set, and then you end up in the set. An exception to this is when, say I'm starting in this set and I'm going to be making a set on down the road like I'm going to be, and I'll show y'all this when we get this kind of done here. I will make sure to work everything as I go, that way my track cutter ends up on the other end of the access, and it doesn't have to come back. That way I don't have to track, cut back and then track back to the new set. I'll be at where the new spot's going to start, and I'll start cutting down there at that time. When it's short rows like this, you don't want to do your left side and then do your right side coming back out. You want to make sure you keep your short rows caught up as you're going in, because you spend it takes more, I'm not gonna say it takes more time, it slows you down more to track in a short row, cut it, and then you go tote it all back out here to the access anyway, twist out, twist around, twist into the next row, cut it, quick track back out here to the access, put it down. That takes time, and when you're right here and you ain't had to twist your machine yet, you just track straight across your access, cut your short row, track back, because usually you can get it all in one, sometimes two passes depending on how thick the wood is. Track back to the access, put it down, and you're done with that short row. You don't got to fool with that short row no more. And then whenever you're coming out, when you get to the end, like you see the end down there, and you get to that end, you start coming out, all your kicker trees, which is the trees that your wood would have pivoted around, you cut your skint trees, because you can't leave the skint trees. If it's over 3 feet tall of a skin, you can't leave it. That tree's going to die. So you cut, and you're always going to have one skin tree on the ends of your rows, especially as tight as I leave my accesses, trying to contain my skidder drivers from getting too wild. You'll have that one corner tree, your kicker tree, that you cut, and as you're coming back up, you catch all your kicker trees as you're coming back towards the set. When you usually get up here towards the set, there may be another drag down through the access that your skidder has to pick up, and it gives you something to do with your cutter as you're tracking up through here. So that's the biggest reason I don't work everything all at one time. It's all about economics and how it works for me, how it works for running a track machine. 100 other people's gonna give you 100 other answers, and I'm not trying to be boastful here, but those 100 other people, send them to me, and I'll do like the 20 others that I've probably worked with over the years and show them how I do it. I can't tell you how many people's come and they're like, oh no, it needs to work like this, and all right, show me your way, and they show me their way, and it don't work. My job is not the highest producing. We do really well for the equipment and the age of the equipment that we have and the manpower that we have. We do really, really good. Really good. But my dad's job would move into a tract of timber like this, and they'll run 100 loads a week, 20 loads a day. Every day, 5 days, they'll knock out 100 loads in this type of timber with 2 cutters running full time. To do that, you got to know what you're doing, and not everybody can do those type of production numbers in this type of timber. That's the thing, is a lot of people are like, oh, we do that with like 1 cutter, 2 skidders, and 1 loader. And I've been to your part of the world, and your wood is like way better than what we get to cut. So go bark up somebody else's tree with that mess. Just like quick thing here. First time I went to Starkville, Mississippi for the Mid-South show. We're driving along, and I'm noticing all the logging jobs that I'm seeing that are in the type of timber that they're cutting. And I know it's dry part of the year. They're going to be in good or wet, what would be wet ground, good wood scenarios. And I got talking with some local loggers over there, and they're like, no, we don't, our mills won't buy our timber unless it's 16 years old. I was like, holy crap, we cut stuff as young as 9, 10 a lot, 11 a whole bunch. And if we go to getting in 12-year-old stuff, man, we think we've just got it going on anymore, where we used to stay in 16 to 18-year-old timber, and we used to run just gobs more wood. So everybody's scenario is always different. Just keep that in mind when you're watching the videos. I mean, this is pretty good wood. We think this is pretty good stuff. We could do 50 loads a week with one loader pretty easy in it. And I don't know, it's just everybody's scenario and every logging situation is always different. My logging scenario changes from track to track. But anyway, so that's why we work our accesses the way we work, or our tracks the way we work them. If y'all have any other questions, please ask. I don't mind answering. I love answering in a video form. It gives me content to give y'all, and a way to explain why we do something the way we do it. So anyway, we'll wrap this one up. Till the next video, guys. I appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all go subscribe for me. Click the bell so you get the notifications whenever I post a video. I usually post every day at 11 a.m. Monday through Sunday. Weekends have been kind of iffy right now, but I try and post a video every day. If not every day, definitely every other day. But for sure, Monday through Friday, every day. And so yeah, until the next video, guys, we'll catch y'all next time.